right, welcome back to the show. I thought we were getting graphic, but we're not. But Bryan Trottier is here. Hello, how are you? Well, here's the reason why Bryan has joined us today on the show to promote Three Ice Hockey. It is a league made up of 6 teams, 6 skaters, 1 goalie, and 1 coach per team. The tour has 9 stops across North America beginning in June, and it's been created to bring fans pure, unadulterated excitement. We've had a couple of other coaches on the show to talk about it as well. But what excites you about this? I like the vest, by the way. I didn't get a good look at you.
Blue uniform. Well, yeah, we're stepping it up here. They're trying to make me look really kind of sporty, but I like it because I like the colors. It's right there, standing behind the bench. I'm gonna feel it. But the thing I like most about this is the skill.
Yeah.
These young men come and they want to play hockey. They bring the best skill they have, the playmaking, scoring opportunities. It's end-to-end action. Goaltenders love it. So we hope the fans enjoy the same kind of excitement that we're going to see here during training camp. The kids came and they played their hearts out.
You know I'm an unrestricted free agent, right?
We might have a spot for you.
You've seen my stats, clearly. That's why I didn't get the phone call.
No, we like the game. We like the game.
That's why I didn't get the call.
Yeah.
But tell me, 3-on-3, it's the most exciting part of hockey for me. You go to overtime, you can't get enough of it. The fans can't get enough of it. What, in your mind, is going to be key to having success as a coach?
Well, I figured I got 6 leaders and a goalie. Like, that's where these guys come to play their hearts out. And if they come with that kind of spirit and energy, good things are going to happen, as we know, because, you let your instincts kind of guide you, and it's all about playmaking, scoring opportunities, putting pucks at the net, generating opportunities, picking the puck off, transition, all the stuff that makes that overtime hockey exciting and you're on the edge of your seat. As a coach, you got to kind of hold back. Say, oh, they're getting a good chance. Well, we'll get one right back. And hope we get 2 right back.
Free flowing.
Yeah, it's end-to-end. It's really kind of.
You're not going to shorten the bench, I guess. You only have 6 guys, right? So that's it. 4
forwards, 2 defense. Yeah, and they just jump off the ice when one's tired, the next one's ready to go. There's not a lot of coaching. It's got to prep them before the game and stand there and just cheer them on during the game. And if they ask you a question, it's usually something like, "Oh, can I get one more blow?" I said, "Okay, rest as fast as you can because he's coming off right now."
Yeah.
But it's really it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours of 8-minute periods. So they try to get 6 games in within 2 hours. So 2 8-minute periods, and it happens like that.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. It's a lot of action, and it's. Hope the fans really enjoy it.
Have you talked to any of the other coaches about this experience and what to expect? Because, we showed the list off the top. There's some pretty big names, including yourself. Have you talked to any of the other coaches?
The coaches are great guys. John LeClaire, Guy Carbonneau, Joe Mullen, Larry Murphy, Grant Fuhr. All the guys are great. We're friends. It's friendly.
I know.
It's not bad. It's a friendly group in one regard. But when the games start, you kind of say, okay, good luck to you, because I hope I win. I hope I win. But the guys are great. Everybody understands the concept. It's about entertainment. And, Grant drafted some interesting guys. He said, I drafted one guy just to take care of my other guy. Who's going to take care of that guy? And he ended up drafting Ryan Malone.
Wow.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's really kind of exciting, because if he wouldn't have drafted him, I would have drafted him, because he was at Mario's tournament, his fantasy camp, and Ryan can play some hockey. Yeah, he's 40 years old, and he played with my son. Can you believe that? And
oh, my goodness.
He's gonna rev it up. We're going to have some fun.
21 Stanley Cups a part of that coaching staff. You're going to bring 7 to the table. Have you thought about maybe your first pre-game coach's speech, what you're going to say to the fellas?
Yeah, the guys are really
Slap
good.
the rings down?
Oh, yeah, we'll bring some
one
bling.
for every guy. I mean, based on the roster.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Yeah, the bling is fun, but when the game starts, the players they're in the zone. They just want to play hockey, and it's about bringing their best game, their best energy. Let it run. Let the offense run. And when we don't have the puck, that's really kind of the fun thing for our players. I'm really impressed how fast they take that big ice and just kind of corner the puck, get the transition, and take off the other way. I drafted speed, I drafted spirit, and those 2 things I think are going to carry me to lots of victories.
I love that.
Yeah,
Works for you.
That's a smart play in 3-on-3. speed, because that's what you're going to need. Because you're on a full-size NHL sheet, right?
It is, and they've got good geometry, these young kids. I said, I love it because they just kind of angle everything down. They take away the good ice, stay in the middle, give them everything on the outside. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting for our goalies. They're going to be sleeping. They're like, blinking.
There'll be no time to rest for the attendees.
Yeah, they'll sleep well.
Yeah, it is called the 3-Ice Tournament. Again, it starts in June, 9 stops across North America. I do, while you're here, want to ask you about the Stanley Cup playoffs. So you talk about all the skill that's going to be on display within this league, and we're seeing it right now in the postseason. I mean, what Connor McDavid is doing is mind-blowing. The goal last night from Nathan MacKinnon is third. What do you make of this league right now and some of the players in it?
You talk about speed and action and spirit. I mean, I'm just enjoying it. This young athleticism, agility at top speed is so impressive. Mike Bossy said Connor McDavid is the fastest human being he's ever seen in a pair of skates. I agree. Now you got McKinnon. Now you got all these guys. It's so impressive. And, you know, the goaltending, it all comes down to goaltending still. You know, defense first sort of thing. But what they do on the offensive side of the game is just spectacular. So, yeah, we're enjoying it. I'm a fan. Good on them.
I dug deep into Wikipedia today. I gotta check it out. And I saw Stevie Y. You were his favorite player growing up for him. Who was your favorite player when you were growing up? Who did you want to play like?
It was a wonderful compliment by Stevie, and I can't thank him enough for it. But I was a Jean Beliveau fan first. I just liked, that was the first memory I have of somebody raising the Stanley Cup with Jean Beliveau, Montreal Canadiens. And I turned to my mom and dad and said, I want to play in the NHL and raise the Stanley Cup over my head like Jean Beliveau. And then I heard Gordie Howe, and now Gordie Howe became my guy. And then Bobby Orr came in the league, Gilbert Perreault, these guys that were stick handling. And I can remember jumping on the ice one time, and here comes Guy Lafleur, and I didn't know whether I should forecheck him or start backing up. So I just backed up, and I'm like, wow, look at that hair. It's flying. Concentrate here. But you know, there's so many good. Stan Mikita was a favorite of mine. It just seemed to have lots of Dave Keon, George Armstrong, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dad was a big Maple Leaf fan, so I watched the Maple Leafs. But I couldn't help but love Jean Beliveau. He was probably the big gros bill. You know, Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, and how they carried themselves on and off the ice was just so impressive. So, yeah, they were good idols.
As you know, as Tyson mentioned, 7 Stanley Cups, 6 as a player, 1 with the Colorado Avalanche as an assistant coach, I believe. So you have some ties to that franchise. We just saw the crazy game last night. I talked to your former teammate Butch Goring, and I asked him one time, what was the hardest cup to win? And he said it was the first one. He goes, because after that, we knew how to do it. Colorado's in a situation, they're trying to figure out how to do it. What advice would you give that group right now as they get ready? They had a tough loss last night, and they've had some baggage, just like the Islanders had early on before you guys won.
Yeah, it's tough to win the first one, but when you win that first one, it's very gratifying. And if it was an easy trophy to win, everybody would win it. Yeah. It's a tough trophy to win. But you got to trust yourself. You got to stick together. You got to have the confidence to be able to be mindful on every little situation out there. It comes down to the little things, and if you can concentrate on the little things and mind yourself and stay disciplined, good things are going to happen. Leadership, doesn't come down to one guy. It's a team leadership, and we had lots of leaders in that Islander room, and that helped. Go to Pittsburgh, lots of leaders in that Penguin locker room, and coaching in Colorado, we had a lot of leaders in that Colorado Avalanche. It didn't all fall on Joe Sakic, so everybody's got to grab a hold of that rope. And you know, you see, Colorado's deep. They got some good young leaders there.
You talk about the details. We've seen that from the Tampa Bay Lightning once again. I mean, Steven Stamkos, the whole team really is out there blocking shots, diving in front of the puck, doing whatever it takes to get the job done. And I've heard players say before that have won, once you understand the sacrifice and how hard it is and what it takes to win, you know, it takes a lot to get yourself up and in a place mentally where you can do it a second time. They're trying to do it a third time. How impressed are you by the likes of the Tampa Bay Lightning and what they've been able to do?
Very impressed. Very impressed what they've done the last 2 years and again this year. I mean, they're champions. They find ways to win. And they know that there's no tomorrow. And if they go all out every night, good things are going to happen. And they have that confidence. They got the swagger.
Yeah.
They got the goaltending.
Yeah.
You know, they got the big guys that are gunning. So all those things happen. But Tyson, you were one of those guys, you're a gritty guy that did all the other things. But you got to do all those things in order to.
We're recording this?
Yeah. It's not just your best players got to play great. Everybody's got to find a way to contribute, and that's what Tampa Bay does.
Everybody had one. It was a team that they hated to play against, and maybe a player they hated to play against. Who was that for you?
It seemed like every team had one guy that
They were all going after you.
Yeah, but for me, we had some great rivalries. There was nobody I hated playing against. Every team seemed to have somebody that made it fun for me, and I enjoyed them all. I can't even think of a nasty guy. I had some great battles against Claude Lemieux, great guy.
Yeah.
You know, I love Pep. He's awesome. But we got on that night, so we rubbed each other a little bit. I'm like, okay, here we go. Scott Stevens, same thing. Like, okay, here we go again. But you know, that's what brings out the best, I think, in both of you. So those moments against those guys. Larry Robinson was tough to play against. A gentleman on the ice, just a big giant of a man. Took me in the corner once, pressed me up against the wall, lifted me off the ice, and I'm standing there. I got no leverage now. My feet are dangling. Let me down gently. He goes, there you go, little guy. I'm like, oh. I'm sure the people in the first two rows were laughing because I'm pressed up against that glass, and Larry's just like not even breathing hard. He's like, okay, there you go.
There you go.
We're done here.
Gentleman. He's such a great guy.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, you spent a couple of years in Pittsburgh, and you helped that Penguins team learn how to win with Lemieux and Jagr. What was it like playing with Mario?
Mario is one of those special people that just has the ability to bring out the very best in himself and makes everybody else better. When you see him in practice and what he does in practice on a daily basis, for a guy who wasn't then able to practice every day because he was his back, and he'd come on the ice and he's just so smooth and graceful. Again, he reminded me of Jean Beliveau. You know, he was my Jean Beliveau because he was that big man who had the big man presence. And when he stood up in the locker room and said, let's go, boys, the whole room got excited. Yeah. And that's what big men do, like our Clark Gillies and the Larry Robinson and the Mario Lemieux. And he didn't see that, but it made it fun for me because I saw it every day. Mario's gracious. He's just a great captain, just a pure leader, and those guys just have a natural ability to lead, but a special human being, absolutely.
Well, we've mentioned all of the cups that you've won, and I'm sure you've been asked this question a million times, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Which cup run was your favorite or most memorable? Like when you're sitting around with family or friends, like what time period do you end up going to where you tell the most stories?
The first one, without a doubt, because everything is new. And every round is special. So we had to beat the very best of the best that league. We beat the Triple Crown line in Los Angeles. We beat the French Connection in Buffalo. We beat the Big Bad Bruins in the next round. And Philadelphia went undefeated, like 40 games or something that year. So it wasn't handed to us. We had to earn it. But that was a special moment when all of a sudden Bobby Nystrom scores in overtime and you're a champion that minute. So that's.
Do you remember that moment?
Oh, without a doubt. And it's like, because that's what you dream about at the time you're 8 years old. And it's still my greatest moment. I had nothing to do with it. I was on the bench resting fast for my next shift. But I watched it all transpire, you know, handing it to Tonelli over the blue line, cross-ice pass. And I saw Tonelli, and we practiced this play a million times. Tonelli cross-ice to Bobby Nystrom cross-ice to driving the net, those tip plays, you know, driving the net and just tipping it in. And it happens in that moment, and it was just spectacular. And I jump over the boards trying to get down to the corner where all the fun is, and my foot catches the top of the board, so I do a header. I never made it down into the corner. Kenny Morrow picks me up. We're a champion, and I'm smelling his uniform. I'm like, you know, like, all your senses peak, and I'm like, Kenny, oh my God, your uniform's. But those moments are, but your senses peak, and I can remember somebody was like 50 rows up and said, we love you, Bryan. I said, I love you too. Because like it's out of that din, that all those people screaming down to you. I picked that one face, and it's just like, you know.
You'll remember it forever, that
forever,
face, probably.
Yeah. Spectacular.
I got to ask you, I don't know if you watched the game last night, Colorado and the St. Louis Blues, but you've been through it. The ebbs and flows of playoff hockey, the ups and downs. I mean, what Colorado went through at the end of the game, being up by a goal all of a sudden, and then now, you know, down and going back to St. Louis. How do you recover as a team, and obviously even for Darcy Kemper? How do you bounce back from that?
You know, hockey is an amazing thing, and we see the resilience in players all the time in teams. You know, I didn't think, you know, St. Louis was going to recover, and they did. And it's amazing. You find something, either it's a block shot or somebody makes a big play, a goaltender makes a big save. There's going to be something that happens that's going to turn the flow somewhere during the game, and you think, oh, this one's a lock, and all of a sudden, bang, it turns the other way. I think Colorado's going to show some resilience, and I think you know, I think that series is going to be a tough series. It's going to be a battle, and good for the fans because it brings out the best in both teams. So, and you know, that bad bounce, the good bounce, the referee call. There's going to be something that's going to happen that's going to change the dynamic of that game at some point.
You know, you're in Pittsburgh now. You live in Pittsburgh, and so you get to see probably Sidney Crosby from time to time there. He plays a lot, kind of like, when I think about your game, and I think of Sidney Crosby, there's similarities there, right? And so what do you make of his career? He's been the face of this league now for many years, and, you know, Jackie, we talk about it all the time, right? He's still among the very best players in the league. He
is, and he's another special player that comes along once every generation. He's been a wonderful ambassador, just a great kid. You get a chance to talk to him. He's great with kids. He's great talking about hockey. He's got patience. And he's revered. He's revered by his teammates. He's revered by the city of Pittsburgh, and rightfully so. It's tough not to be a Sidney Crosby fan because he's just a good kid. Yeah. And Colby Armstrong has the best expression. He's a rink rat. You know, he thinks hockey, practices hockey, does it all the time. No, we love Sidney for a whole bunch of reasons. He's going to be. I wish him well. He's come back from a couple tough injuries, and he's still, you know, he's heavy on the puck. He's a hard guy to check, and so quick, his agility, he sees the ice. Well, I only wish I played like that.
Oh, come on. Hey, I watched your games. You played a lot like that. You were hard to deal with, my friend.
Friendly give-and-go guy.
Oh, come on. Come on now.
I love it.
Come on now. Those are some hard years there.
No, some grinding going against Daryl Sittler face-to-face, 60 minutes. Oh, my God, that was a rough.
Bobby Clark.
Good. You know, those are good games to play because when you come out of the game and you're totally exhausted, you know you had a battle because those guys back check like I like to back check and help my goalie out. Those guys back check too. I'm like, darn it, stop back checking. You come out of that game, you're exhausted, win, lose, or draw. Like, that was a good game. I like the battles. You know, the Messiers, the Daryl Sittlers, the Bobby Clarks. It was a battle. It was good battles.
Yeah, I bet it was a good feeling when you get to the room and you're like, I emptied the tank in that one. Like, there is nothing left.
Better black eye, missing.
Oh my God! Yeah. A couple of those.
Let's go grab a cocktail.
Better give than receive. I went home with a couple of my own.
Reva, listen, we could chat with you for the entirety of the show. We appreciate you so much coming in. Have the best time at the 3-Ice League. Again, 9 stops across North America starting in June. So hit the website, find out how you can get involved. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, Jackie. We shall, we will. Thank you.
All right.